Hotapu everyone! This is Royal Highness King Ra Sumabafek Bemi, the world's first openly African black gay king. And the role of a king is to feed and protect his people. And today I do so by inviting you to the revival, the participation in a most ancient ceremony from ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, called the Festival of the Beautiful Valley. This is a festival that was done once a year in ancient Kemet from the temple of Thebes and Karnak, where the sacred statue of Amun was taken from his shrine and paraded in a boat, often of gold, as you see here, carried by the boat bearers. And you see Amun, symbol of the ram, on the front and back of the boat. This statue was carried across the Nile from the east to the west. The east is the living, the west is the land of the dead, the tombs and cemeteries in Egypt. And the people would come out in great fanfare, great ceremony, somewhat similar to the Mexican festival of Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It's a very similar kind of event where you come out in great fanfare to honor your ancestors. Shown here of Anpu, he who mummifies, opening the mouth of the ancestors, meaning giving the ancestors a voice, reviving their memory. To open the mouth of an ancestor meant to remember them, because they speak to you through your dreams and meditations. And flowers were used in great amounts during the ceremony, because the flowers represented the chakras. So when you performed at this sacred date, this festival, you see people here with tambourines and musical instruments and flowers and offerings and litanies, etc. Pouring libations here, this pharaoh with incense in his hand here. Very joyous time. That when you open their mouths as shown here, they will speak through what's called your lotuses or your chakras. And so I'm doing the workshop coming up on the chakras. It's April 27th, I believe it is, which is a Thursday in 2017 here. Part of the chakra workshop is going to be to allow your ancestors to speak through your chakras. You'll receive information about past lives, about your family history, your family tree, what their experiences were, where they came from. All of this is available to you when you open the lotuses or the chakras, which I call flowers, lotuses, and allow the ancestors to speak. The chakra workshop was planned in consonance with this festival. And this only happens once a year, this festival of the beautiful valley, meaning the valley of the kings or the valley of the ancestors. And so during the morning, the boat would come from the east, out of the temple in the east, and by sunset, the boat would be in the west. Because sunset is the time of the sun dying and going under the ground like the dead do. And people would often then offer their flowers towards the Amun statue, who would then bless the flowers for the people. The people would take the flowers to their families' tombs. They would have great meals there, have dinner with their ancestors, would give them libations and food and song and tell them what's happening in the life of their children. They would sometimes even sleep there at the tombs to receive visions and dreams through their chakras from their ancestors and admonitions and warnings and blessings. It was a very intimate and joyous celebration of communing with your ancestors, of not forgetting where you come from and honoring your roots, honoring your lineage. Now, it was Amun because Amun means the unseen. Amun means hidden, and the ancestors are always hiding around you. So you want to honor your ancestors at this time, but calling the Amun ancestors, those who were peaceful, those who were calm and spiritual, and had divine consciousness, not the drunkard and drug addict ancestors in your family bonds, but the really good ones, the really positive ones, the socially aware and family-oriented ones. Then when Amun's boat would come to the west, it would be joined with Mut and Konsu. Mut was Amun's wife, and Konsu was their son. And Mut means mother, which is appropriate for someone who wants to be reborn. You must come through a mother. And the fruit would be Konsu. The fruit of her womb would be the moon, or the moon represents children and people who are young and undeveloped and still growing. So the date of this I've calculated thanks to a ceremony to the beloved gay ancestors of Kemet, who revealed to me the mathematical formula for calculating this date in Western times, for the Western calendar. In other words, I used very rigorous and strict NASA astronomy software combined with the records kept of the festivals of Kemet in the texts to reconstruct the date of this ceremony in the modern Western calendar, which the texts say that this festival occurred in the 10th month of the second season, which you see here on, this is April's calendar 2017. On the 14th of April 2017, we entered the 10th month of Sirius or Sopedu, the second month of the season of Shemu. This month was called Kenchi, where Nefertemu comes. So according to the ancient texts, the festival of the beautiful valley occurred in the 10th month in the season of Shemu on the first new moon. So if this is the 10th month begins on the 14th, the first new moon here is with this word new in this blue box, the 26th of April 2017. So basically, what you do on this date is you can begin to get a bowl of water and get a little toy boat, if you can. Draw a picture of a sun, two pictures, one on the left, one on the right of the boat, of the bowl of water. And you basically want to place the boat in the water at sunrise or in the morning. And before the sun sets, let the boat just kind of swim across to the other side, to the other sun. You are replaying the actual mimicking of the great procession of Amun-Ra's boat. And give as many flowers as you can to this bowl of water. Just bring a lot of flowers. Pray for peace in your life. I found when people do this ceremony that you will come out of it with a lot of information, a lot of connections with family will revive. You will, if you are single, you will tend to find a mate come your way who's meant for you by ancestral decree. If you're having marriage or love problems, they will tend to resolve in a peaceful Amun manner, in a way that binds the family in peace and in joy and beauty. It's called the beautiful festival of the valley. And if you're going through valleys in your life or in your marriage or relationships, this is the ceremony to make the valley not so horrific, not so dark and deep and low. So again, on the 26th, do the ceremony, because when you do it, your ancestors will speak through your chakras, through your flowers. Yes. And you will find your life becomes joyous. And may your ancestors speak through your chakras when you open their mouth or give them voice, memory, and honoring. And we pray that you enjoy this ceremony. Be sure to look for the YouTube links below and in the YouTube videos for the chakra workshop coming up very soon, where I will teach you how to awaken the ancestral memories in your chakras as well. We pray you enjoyed this. Enjoy your flower ceremony of the beautiful Valley Festival. Dwa Wen Totepu.